A big news for the Cardano and Midnight networks. If you're looking to 10x the amount of Night tokens you can earn for completely free by mining through a wallet, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that, where to go, what to download, and it takes no more than 5 minutes. So if you have the time, you want to earn some free Night tokens, and you're interested in providing some value ahead of the Midnight network launch, strap in, let's dive on in. What's up, Ita Gang? Welcome into Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I am your host here for Reed. As a part of today's video, we're taking a look at how you can easily 10x your earnings as a part of the Midnight airdrop or the Glacier drop for phase 2, also known as the scavenger mine. Now, this is going to be by far one of the easiest ways you can do this with a single laptop. And all that I ask in return is that you show some support by using the link that I'm going to be leaving down below as a part of today's video description. And so before we continue any further, for anyone who isn't aware, Midnight is a data privacy focused blockchain, which is being built by the Shielded team, which essentially is on the ground trying to make as much noise as they can in anticipation of the mainnet launch of this blockchain. Now, we've seen tokens like Zcash, which have essentially gone from $40 all the way to breaking over $500. Obviously not financial advice, but it's a token focused on privacy, and Night is no different. Again, this is an opportunity for you to earn the Night token for completely free, and you can do this with just a single computer. So this will, again, break all of that down, and I would appreciate it, as always, if you could just smash that thumbs up on the way in. If you want more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. And the last bit of promotional content here, I want to give you guys an update. The Dapp Central Stake Pool will be operating as a Midnight node operator, meaning if you delegate to the Dapp Central Stake Pool, I'll leave the link to it down below. Not only will you earn your traditional ADA rewards, you'll also earn the Night token, given the fact that the pool will be dual operators, helping to secure and to mint blocks on Cardano, as well as the Midnight mainnet when that launches. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right on in. I do want to take an opportunity to just give you guys some general updates before we dive into this 10x hack in order to earn that much more during the scavenger mine. So the first thing we have is the fact that Midnight has now partnered up with Google Cloud. This is a massive bit here when it comes to collaborations, partnerships, and onboarding. Obviously, Google is a household name, needs no further introduction, but they'll be operating critical network infrastructure, and they'll also be operating a validator or a node. So just like I'm going to be operating a node, the representatives from Google Cloud will also be operating a node, meaning that they'll also have to run a Cardano node. That's massively bullish here. Second, they'll be able to provide confidential computing from Google Cloud. Third, they're going to extend their managed threat monitoring to include the Midnight network. And then last, they're going to be opening up their program, which is the Google for Startups Web3 program, with up to 200K credits for anyone who wants to build using their platform for cloud storage. Next, we have Midnight joining Project Catalyst. For anyone who isn't aware, Project Catalyst, one of the ways to bootstrap and to fund early projects or early startups in the ecosystem. And we have Midnight participating for funding round number 15, where there's going to be a total of roughly 20 million ADA and $250,000 up for grabs. And I believe there's that $250,000 available for anyone who wants to submit a proposal to increase the visibility or to increase the benefits that the Midnight blockchain brings. So that includes the following categories: governance, AI, health, finance, as well as novel concepts. There's a full breakdown here of the entire Catalyst process, when voting begins, when submissions end, all of that good stuff, including voting and onboarding. I'll leave the link to this down below. The next thing I want to briefly touch on is the fact that the Midnight network airdrop or the Glacier drop will be supported by one of the biggest centralized exchanges, and that's none other than Kraken. In addition, we have Gate.io, who will also be supporting the Glacier drop. Now, why is this important? Well, they custody a lot of ADA, and when the ADA snapshot was taken, as well as some of the other assets that were eligible for the airdrop was taken, they essentially would be in charge of claiming those rewards for their customer base. The reason why? Well, technically, if you've custodied your assets on a platform like Gate.io or Kraken, they are the holders of those assets, right? Not your keys, not your crypto. And so to that end, because they hold the private keys associated with the non-custodial or the custodial wallets in that case, they would actually have to go ahead and make the claim on your behalf and then distribute those tokens to you. Now, we haven't heard from big names, for example, like Binance and Coinbase, but it's at least good to see that some centralized exchanges are willing to go ahead and support the Midnight airdrop. Next, we have the upcoming Midnight Summit. This is their first ever summit taking place here in the UK. And this will be a 2-day event from November 17th through the 18th following the Cardano Summit, which actually kicks off, I believe, in just a couple of days. It is currently the 7th of November. And so I believe that should be kicking off. And then immediately after that wraps up, we have the Midnight Summit not too far from there. So during day one, this is what they'll call the Cypher Day. They'll be diving deep into privacy and just talking about why this is such an important topic. Number two, or day number two, we're going to hear from the projects that are building on the blockchain and what has brought them, right, to bring their solutions into a brand new ecosystem. Now that we've got all of the intro stuff out of the way, let's talk about how you can essentially 10x all of your earnings when it comes to the scavenger mine or phase 2 of the Glacier airdrop. And as a brief recap, there's going to be a total supply of 24 billion Knight tokens. Again, the Knight token is a Cardano native asset. It's already been minted on chain, and it's now just getting ready for distribution as soon as the phase 2 or the scavenger mine ends. And there's roughly about 8 days from the time that I'm shooting this, which means that it should be wrapping up right around the time that their Midnight Summit is actually going on. So could we see a big announcement there? I definitely believe so. We're going to have Charles Hoskinson there. We're going to have Fahmy Syed also present, the CEO of the Midnight Foundation, as well as Aran Barak, the lead or the CEO of Shielded Technologies, who's actually building the Midnight Network. I also want to briefly highlight the fact that there's already been 2 billion out of the 24 billion tokens that have been distributed to the community, and that was all done through phase number 1. Now, just 2 days ago, we saw a big update here with an increased allocation for phase number 2. And so there was 600 million tokens allocated for phase 2. 2 billion were claimed in phase 1, and they're now upping the amount in phase 2 from 600 million all the way up to 1 billion tokens. So roughly about a 50% increase in the amount of Knight tokens being distributed. And that's all because they've seen more activity, more engagement, more people interested in actually mining the Knight token. So they're actively monitoring, listening, and providing really good feedback when it comes to participation for the Midnight airdrop. So it states here that the total Knight allocation for the scavenger mine phase is increasing to 1 billion tokens. And the very last day will be browser only. So let me take a minute here to kind of break that down. You can mine by going to the official Midnight website. They've got a portal where you can connect your wallet, agree to a license agreement, and then actually begin the mining process. It takes no more than 30 seconds to a minute max. But you can also do that through a headless browser or through an API, meaning, right, that you can actually connect to an endpoint without having to visit that web page, which everybody typically would visit if they aren't aware of the fact that they can actually mine through an API. So now let's jump into the nice and juicy bit here that I know you guys have all been waiting for. Again, if you guys appreciate this type of content, please smash that thumbs up. If you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. Now, massive shout out here to the team from NuFi. I'm going to leave the link to their wallet. The first thing you want to do, check out the description down below. There's a specific link to download the NuFi wallet. With their wallet, you're going to be able to take advantage of this 10x feature here to boost your Knight mining rewards. The best part about all this, you can do this from a single laptop. I've seen multiple people using 2 or 3 different computers with a single browser tab open. And with this API feature, which the NuFi wallet has quickly taken advantage of, shout out to them, you can mine multiple wallets or multiple addresses within a single instance in a single browser on a single laptop or desktop PC. This is exactly what we need, innovators just like this. So it states here how to mine Night using the NuFi wallet. I'm going to play this video. It's extremely brief, but it shows the power here of what you're able to do. So here it is. We've got a single wallet within NuFi. They're then able to click on the airdrop button on the left-hand side there. And as you can see, they've got multiple wallet addresses for the Cardano ecosystem. Some of them were not registered. Some of them they're registering now. Some of them are now beginning to actually mine. And this is all happening concurrently. In addition, you can actually pick how much of your CPU power you want to contribute towards a particular wallet address. And so, for example, my computer has, I believe, 14 cores, and I can distribute how many cores I want for each of the mining wallets to actually receive, or in terms of compute processing power, in order to actually solve some of these cryptographic puzzles, which then rewards you with the Night token. Again, you can see all of the wallets here, how much of the Night tokens each one of them has earned. And it also allows you to retroactively solve puzzles that are not expired. So when you're going through the web browser, you're given a puzzle 1 per hour. If you're sleeping or if you're not there for an hour or two, you miss those puzzles and you can't go back to actually solve them, even though they may not be expired. But with NuFi's API feature, you can actually go back, I believe it's up to roughly about a day, and actually solve prior puzzles, even though their time may have expired or passed if you're going through the browser. So this is a really innovative way here. This team has taken a massive step forward here and allowed for the community to take advantage of this scavenger mine. And again, if you want to participate and take advantage of this, please check out the link down below. Download the NuFi wallet, install it. It takes roughly about 2 to 3 minutes to get going. And when I tell you, I'm not just speaking about this, I actually have the NuFi wallet open now. Let me actually pull up my wallet and show you guys here. I mean, it is really not that difficult. So here is one of my wallets, which I've essentially been mining with. And as you can see, again, I can choose how many CPU threads I want to allocate towards the mine for this particular wallet. I can see how many of the Night tokens I've earned. I can see how many puzzles I've solved. I've got the address here, and this is currently sitting idle, so it isn't currently mining right now. Now, if I jump over to a separate wallet, we can see that this is actually mining and solving a challenge. And again, I've got multiple browsers essentially open. So take advantage of this. This allows for you to tap into the midnight airdrop, earn a little bit more than you would have if you maybe were just going through the browser. And if you found this to be helpful, I would appreciate you if you could just smash that thumbs up on the way out. And again, use that link down below to download and check out the NuFi wallet. Not only can you take advantage of this particular airdrop if you're a multi-chain user, the NuFi wallet allows for you to create accounts on multiple networks, and it houses all of that within that single wallet. So you don't have to go and download an ETH wallet or MetaMask, a Bitcoin wallet, or a Solana wallet. You can essentially have a single seed phrase that you can use, which will be associated with all those different accounts on multiple chains. So they're going to be one of the wallets that I'm going to definitely be working with a little bit more moving forward. I see the value in what they're doing. And just this recent bit of context with the airdrop has really showed me that this team is going above and beyond. One of the only wallets that I've seen giving you the ability to actually mine directly from within it without having to go to the official Midnight website. That'll do it here for today's video. Again, if you guys appreciate content like this, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up on the way out. If you want more, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I would appreciate it if you would leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.